the community college educational pipeline and to also find solutions. So to find out more about CRT, please refer to the article posted on the registration website titled Whose Culture Has Capital? A Critical Race Theory Discussion of Community Cultural Wealth by Tara Yoso.
Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I just want to let everybody know that this is a safe space. I want everybody to respect the cyber community. Please keep your microphone muted. Click on the speaker view. You have your unmute and start video on the right. Go ahead, Paloma. If you have a question throughout the presentation, feel free to utilize our chat feature. The questions will be answered during the Q&A portion.
Cinnamon?
Yes, sorry, I thought I was unmuted. Hi, everyone again. So as you see, this is the agenda for the day. So the sessions are broken up into two, so 10:30 to noon, and then we'll be having a break. And in that break, it's going to be optional activities. And then the afternoon session from 2 to 3:30. At 3:20, it's going to be the closing, but it'll also be a raffle. So if you guys want to stick around, get free stuff. We're going to be giving away UCLA swag, so keychains, caps, t-shirts. So stick around. It's going to be really fun. And we hope to see you guys at 3:20. So stick around for the second session. Thank you.
All right, and just to kind of give you an idea of how we have designed the day and why we're asking you to, be part of both of the session, the morning one, the afternoon. We're looking at the pipeline, right? We're looking at why does it happen that there are certain communities that are basically tracked from school to going to prison, right? And we're trying to, one of the things that we're trying to do, and with the help of different folks throughout the university and outside of the university, is to change that pipeline from prison to college and from to the transfer process. So in the morning, we're gonna focus a little bit on some of the challenges that we encounter. We're going to also we're also gonna have some conversations with folks who are doing work at the state level with community college students. And we hopefully are also gonna have someone come and talk a little bit about a program that is doing the work already at the community college. That will be the morning session. The afternoon, we will have a little bit more of like, what are the folks doing at the universities, and then how we are encouraging folks to enter the academy and to start changing policies, right? And to start looking at what kinds of things are going to have a real impact in this pipeline. And lastly, we want to make sure that, of course, we talk about how you enter all these different careers, what kind of challenges you may have, but at the same time, what kind of strategies people have put into place in order to be successful, not only in terms of transferring, but also just beyond that as well. We're not just interested in you making it, we're interested in you thriving and succeeding and doing the best, because we know that you are the ones that can make a difference. You are the ones that can make a change. And we need you in places like this. We need a room at UCLA that looks like not a room. We need UCLA to look like the room that we're in today. So I'm hoping that we can start that conversation. I want to let you know that today is not the last day that we want to connect with you. We have a number of ways that we want to connect. I know that because of the pandemic, we have challenges doing that, but we're also resilient and we're also creative. So we're gonna find ways in which we can connect, create community, and support each other. So with that in mind, I'm gonna move right along because we do have a very tight agenda and we wanna make sure we get to everything. So the next thing that we are going to cover are gonna be some community agreements in order for the conversation to be real, but at the same time that we're respecting each other. So to do that, we have Bobby and Paloma to talk about that.
So before we get started with our program, we want to make this community agreement so that this can be a safe and brave space for everyone. For example, some community agreements can consist of, for example, one diva, one mic, and that's when one person is talking, you allow them to talk and like not talk over them. Also, I know this is this workshop and webinar is gonna have some like details or critical information, and so what happens here with that information stays here. And if you have any other suggestions as to what you want this webinar to include as in community agreements, go ahead and type it in the chat.
Yeah, feel free to go ahead and type some of the community agreements that you guys want to create within our own little community here. And yeah, it's a safe space, just like Paloma mentioned. Don't be shy to ask questions. Don't be shy to also chime in when you can. Thank you.
Another community agreement that we can have is step up, step down. So if you're most likely to volunteer and to talk, allow others who generally do not volunteer to do so. So everyone can have a chance at speaking and volunteering.
And if there's anyone that wants to kind of just maybe mention one, if you want to kind of just say something that you think is important to have, again, a good day today, and just, but at the same time, be able to communicate and be respectful as well. So we have maybe time for one person, maybe to say something as well.
So Feishong said, be respectful. So thank you for that. And then Alejandro said, show love when people step up. And Feishong said, be open-minded to different ideas, of course. So thank you all for that. And if you think of others later on in the webinar, you can definitely type it in the chat as well.
All right, so we're gonna move right along because again, we want to make sure that we have time for any questions you may have throughout the day. So we're gonna move right along. I'm going to ask our next speaker to be introduced, and to do that, we have Alejandro do that.
Yes. So up next, we have Anthony Robles. Anthony Robles is part of the Youth Justice Coalition, which is a coalition that aims to end basically incarceration, right, and create a people's movement to move, our community, specifically Los Angeles County, right, to transform it, through the schools, through the jail system and everything. One of the hardest working organizations I know, and I want to bring the brother up right now. So Anthony Robles, please give a round of applause for the brother right here. Use that little reactions, to clap, bring him some good energy as he's coming up. Go ahead, brother.
All right, thank you, appreciate that. I guess you found a profile picture of me. I always get embarrassed and stuff when I see pictures of myself, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you, everybody. Like I said, I'm Anthony Robles with the Youth Justice Coalition. I was also a transfer student, formerly incarcerated transfer student. I went to Cal State LA. My dream school was UCLA, but it didn't work out for whatever reasons, but everything has its purpose. And I ended up going to Cal State LA and had a great time there and got connected to people and organizations that supported me and helped me succeed. That, you know, I feel like I probably maybe would have succeeded anyway, but not in the way, not in a way that I would have without the support of like Project Rebounds or like groups like Underground Scholars or programs like this that CCCP be doing to help and support first generation students and non-traditional students or students of color. So, you know, I could just quickly talk about my experience transferring and what like the challenges I faced and some of the support I got. And then I'll go into what the work I do with the Youth Justice Coalition is and talk about the school to jail track. We call the school to prison pipeline the school to jail track, as somebody had mentioned earlier that it's like they track you. So that's why we call it this school to jail track. And I'll talk about that and then a couple actions that we're doing, not like direct actions, but where there's a lot of stuff moving at the state level regarding the closure of DJJ, which used to be California Youth Authority, and police decertification bills and other stuff that we need support on. Not just we as an organization, but I mean our people, to get these laws passed. So anyways, yeah, so I started, you know, as mentioned earlier, like there's a tracking system in the school, and there's a college tracking system, which some students are tracked into, and then there's also a jail tracking or prison tracking system for other students. And those are the students who usually need the most support and are going through things either in their households or whatever may be going on. And for me, when I was in the 3rd grade, I was actually put into the GATE program, which is actually like, it's called Gifted and Talented Education, but it's just pretty much when you score high in those state tests and everything, they start tracking you for college. And if you stay within the GATE program until the day you graduate, like in junior high, you start taking high school classes. In high school, you start taking college classes and AP classes and start getting college credits in high school. But around that same time, my father was incarcerated. He got locked up and then deported. And then right after that, our family became homeless because he was the main breadwinner. My mom worked, but there's 3 kids, and we couldn't afford the rent. We actually got evicted because we couldn't afford the rent anymore. My brother was hanging out on the streets now, and he was actually in a college-bound program called AVID as well. And then he ended up getting locked up. And I was just a kid witnessing all of this, and it was just me, my mom, and my sister, and living in motels and stuff, and then living with my grandma. And so after that, I lost all my interest in school, and school and homework was the last thing in my mind. My mom didn't have time to check if I was doing my homework or how I was doing in school because she was always at work, come home, cook, and raising children on her own. So I started slipping in school, started hanging out on the streets, started smoking weed and doing all the typical stuff that a kid on the street does, and with little parental supervision. Eventually my dad and brother would come home, but then get locked up again. My dad was deported multiple times. And so our family was just never had like a stable family or anything like that. And so I was always like hanging out on the block with friends and things like that, getting into trouble, getting arrested, put on the gang database, and then just falling through the cracks in school. And luckily in school I did graduate because I was sent to a continuation school where literally they would let us, one of the teachers would let us smoke weed. He would even let other students smoke dope, smoke meth in the bathroom. He knew what was going on. But as long as we were there and doing these easy ass little packets, we were getting credits. And so that was one of the, and then I was put on independent studies. And that's how I wasn't even going to school. I was just going and hanging out with friends and getting high and just kicking it pretty much. But I was getting credits. And that's how I got most of my high school credits and ended up graduating. But throughout that time, I had like acquired juvenile convictions and a juvenile record and things like that. And when I turned 19, when I was 18, I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. And I was just hanging on the block, you know, and just kicking it pretty much every day. And I tried to apply to the military, and they wouldn't take me because of a juvenile record that I had. And so that was kind of like the only thing I saw myself doing. I didn't know what to do. And so I went to a local community college and went and applied. And at first, it was crazy because the first counselor that I seen looked like he was a Chicano dude. He was like, looked like an OG, looked like a veterano. He had like a bowling shirt on. He had a big brocha, and he had like the hat to match and everything. Like looked like an OG, like a cool cat and everything. And he actually, it was crazy. That was one of the times where I faced like the most, I don't know if it's called racism or discrimination I ever felt in school, because I think he saw me and he was like, why are you trying to apply to school? He's like, why don't you just go get a job or something? I was like, I have a job, but I'm making minimum wage. I don't want to stay there. And he's like, well, you know how many people would die to be having a job? Like, why do you want to come to school? And like really discouraging me from applying. But I had already taken the entrance exam, and I was getting pissed off, and I was getting ready just to like tell him off and just walk out. And I was confused as to why he was treating me like this when I thought he was one of my own. And I was really tripped out. I thought I'd face this from like a white person or something. And then he told me he saw my entrance exam thing where you take like that little algebra test and the reading test and all that. And the scores are really high. And he all of a sudden, when he seen that, he changed his tone and then started helping me apply and telling me about programs and the bridge program and all these different things that I could do to try to get in and be successful in school. And to me, but that just showed me like how many other students who look a certain way or present themselves a certain way or have a certain history get treated like that. And even by people that you think that your own, you're discriminated and treated like they have these pretty notions about you before they even meet you. They discriminate you. And so I was just wondering how many people have been discouraged to not even try to follow their dreams or follow a path because everybody just shuts the door on them, doesn't even give them a chance. And I was very close. And many times in my path, I was very close to just giving up and just hitting the block and just saying, you know, like screw it all. You know, there's nothing out there for me anyways, and just kind of living self-loathing and self-pitying and just taking out all my anger and frustration on the world. There's many times that I wanted to do that and did do that. And luckily, I would always get put back on this path, you know, despite all the obstacles and challenges and doors being closed in my face. But anyways, I got in and then transferred. I was trying to go to UCLA. I was trying to go to the CC through this program. There's like a summer program where you like stay on campus, stay in a dorm for like a month or two or something. I was trying to do all that. I was really excited. But I had gotten locked up like that year and came out, and I got Fs. I had a bunch of Fs because I was in community college, and I got a bunch of Fs. And when I came out, I couldn't go back to my regular job because I had a felony conviction, and their policy was that they don't take felons. And it was really hard for me to find jobs when I got out. I was just working like side jobs here and there, like at agency temps, like one day here, one day there, making like $50 a day here and there. I was on GR, so I was getting welfare and food stamps. When I was just struggling, and I was living with my mom in my grandma's little apartment. It's a senior living apartment. We weren't even supposed to be there. And I was sleeping in the living room on a little rollout bed. And I didn't get into the CCCP program because my grades looked pretty bad, and it looked like I was an unstable student. And so that was like one crushing defeat for me. And I was like, damn. And then so I applied and I tried to transfer to UCLA. I didn't get in. I got into Cal State LA. And as I was going to Cal State LA, I got locked up on a probation violation. And I had missed, and it was during the summer, I had missed my orientation for Cal State LA. I had missed the first day of like picking classes and all that. And so that was like, I thought I wasn't going to be able to start. And I thought I would have to wait a whole semester, even a whole year to start. And so I was ready to give up then and there when I got out, and I was pissed, and I was violated for something stupid as well. And I came out with a joint suspension, which means if I got caught stealing a candy bar or having a marijuana seed on me, I could go to prison, straight to prison. And so I was just really pissed, and I was ready to just forget it all and just hit the block and just be like, fuck this. And I couldn't get a job, nothing. And so I was real pissed off. And then they're telling me there's just a bunch of obstacles on the way. And but what I always had was my mother, who always supported me and always was trying to figure out ways for me to succeed. And so I luckily I had that support. I think family support is crucial, or a lot of people don't have family support. So, you know, other students, or this can be your family, people that you meet at the college, people like from underground scholars, the Project Rebound, the CCCP, or whatever it is, whatever your community is, they can be your family and your support. So when you hit those obstacles, they've probably been through those things before and can tell you how to get through them, or maybe they haven't been through them, but they're there to support you. And just knowing that you have somebody or a group of people behind you, or that you can call, or that when you feel like giving up, they can just talk some light into you, or some knowledge or some wisdom, and because it's all about optimism, and it's all about seeing your goal, even in those challenging moments, and just moving forward. Even if you're just crawling, you got to move forward. That's what's really important, is community. And I always say, like, the most important thing that helped me succeed in life, but especially in college, was making connections and relationships, whether that's with professors and faculty, with staff that run these programs, with other students. That's what's going to make you successful. So really get immersed, involve yourself. And even if you're not a people person or a social person, because I'm really kind of not, that's what's going to help you. That's what's going to make you succeed more than any of the academic stuff or any things like that. It's the people and the connections you make. So I didn't expect to really talk that much about my experience, but I felt like it was important. And and I'm really glad to be here. And I want to go back to school. I graduated from Cal State LA like 2 years ago, in 2018, and I've always wanted to go back, and just a really good experience. But anyways, that's my little story. And now I'm working with the Youth Justice Coalition, and I actually got connected through YJC through Cal State LA because of a class that I was taking. I had been doing like volunteer work in the community, and had been to the community space that YJC manages, which is Chuco's Justice Center. And I had been there, volunteer, when the actions that came out of there, like Black Lives Matter actions and things like that, against police violence. I've always never liked the police for a bunch of reasons, legitimate reasons. But then I got connected because I was, through a class I was working on, YJC had data on use of force data on people who been killed by law enforcement in LA County. So they had a list of all the names of people and like where they were killed at and by which agency. There's like 50, I think there's 53 or 58 law enforcement agencies in our county alone. They had a list, and so it was like, well, my job and my group's job for this class was to help them update the data and create like a map and start documenting some of the narratives and the stories and memorializing some of the victims who were killed, because many were community members that people at the school and people in YJC have connections with. And so people get demonized in the media when they're killed by police. If they have a criminal record, which not everybody does who's killed by police, but if they do, that's the first thing they'll show. If they have a mugshot, they'll show them. And this is a dead person. Where they'll talk about their worst deeds to try to justify and start building the case, the public narrative, so the cop can win their case, and not get fired and not face any accountability for killing a person, which many times and most of the time are unjustified and unarmed people. But even when it's armed people, police response isn't always the best response. Most of the time people are having like mental health episodes, which, as we see right now, like on the streets, people are trying to defund the police, invest in community, invest in mental health outreach, invest in homeless outreach with like a social worker, human and health services like perspective, invest in youth outreach workers, and invest in community intervention workers. We call them peace builders, like OGs from the neighborhoods who can come and talk to the young people without getting police involved in all that stuff, and mitigate conflicts on the streets to save lives and things like that. Because police suppression only exacerbates issues, separates families. It doesn't stop crime or prevent crime. It only makes it worse. So You know, those are the things that we were trying to uplift in this project when I got connected with YJC. And you know, and just seeing all the work that YJC did, I just got like very enamored and just drawn and with the work, and just kept doing it. And we created a map, and I wanted to share it. I'll share the map really quick that we created. We created it with another student from Cal State LA who was he was a geography student, and I'm just gonna pull it up real quick because I really want to talk about the school to jail track work we do. But I'm just gonna share my screen so I could show you all. I know we have like less than 10 minutes left, but here's a quick look at the map. To the PowerPoint, and you see at this time it was from 2000 to 2017 that we did, and at that time there was at least 854 people killed by law enforcement in LA County, and we like made boundaries for like this for the different neighborhoods in across the county. So some of them are cities and some of them are neighborhoods within the city of LA, because LA is so big. Like the Valley has different neighborhoods, South Central, divided it between East and West. You know, the 110 is that line right there. You got the East Side, which includes East LA and Boyle Heights. You got like downtown and Echo Park, and then you have like Highland Park over here. The Harbor, this is all Long Beach. Southeast right here is like, or this right here is like Gardena and Compton, I believe. And so what you see right here, this area is like the most impacted by police violence in our county. And you see all the way like east of Pomona, over here in the Valley somewhere is also kind of impacted by it. And you see right here, the blue and white is where there's hardly any police violence, or at least killings. This is for killings. You see like the coastal areas, and if you look at these areas in these neighborhoods, they're mostly like middle class or upper or richer, like white areas. And so this is something we just uplifted, and it was a map that we used in advocacy to pass SB 1421, and which allows the California public to now request police misconduct records. And so now we all have the ability to send in a letter to the local police department and ask for the misconduct records of either all their officers or maybe just one officer you might be curious about. And then also AB 931, which we passed last year, which made California's use of force law the most restrictive in the country. Before, it used to be the most liberal in terms of allowing police to just kill with impunity and get away with it. It hadn't been reformed since 1872. And so now we have the most restrictive use of force law. But as we see, you know, police are still going to kill, and it's still up to the courts and the DAs to prosecute and have a fair trial and things like that. So we knew it wasn't a full victory, but it was a victory nonetheless. And now we're working on defunding the police, both school police and well, we've been working on trying to defund police and reinvest money from the police into youth development, create a youth development department for the city of LA and the county of LA. And I'm part of I'm facilitating something called the Youth Justice Work Group here in LA County. That's the county motion that they created to explore removing youth out of probation and into a new agency. And so we're trying to create a youth development agency. We're not trying to just move probation into a health department with the same employees, the same staff, the same mentality. We're not trying to like tinker around. We're really trying to reimagine what youth development really is on the front end, like what quote unquote prevention or like strengths-based stuff, all the way up until like, how do you respond to harms? And then how do we create real accountability while also creating healing? So that's going on. And this is all stemmed from work that's been going on. I'll show something else real quick. I'm gonna show another quick little piece of research that we have regarding school-based probation, because we're part of a coalition called the LA Youth Uprising Coalition, and it's a bunch of different organizations and young people. LA County used to do something called voluntary probation, where probation officers would be on campuses and put young people who'd never been arrested, never been cited, never been to court, nothing like that, no trouble with the law. They would put them on 6-month probation programs. And this was to help them because they were either struggling with grades, struggling with attendance, maybe acting out in class, but nothing like criminal or anything like that. And they would put them on probation programs. And this was a way for probation to keep its budgets and keep its staff, because since 2007, youth arrest rates in LA County have dropped by more than half. They're at historic lows actually right now. Youth crime rates are at historic lows, but probation's budget has increased from 450 million in 2007 to 1 billion today. Most of they've closed a bunch of juvenile halls and camps. Their facilities are running like at half capacity or less, but their budget keeps increasing, and it's actually doubled in this time, which doesn't make any sense. So they find any ways to stay relevant. And so we successfully eliminated this program, but probation officers are still on school campuses for students who are on informal or formal probation, because this wasn't even informal probation. This was what they call voluntary probation. So we're trying to get probation out of schools and eliminate juvenile probation altogether. Not adult probation, but juvenile probation. I was gonna pull up this little cool like cartoon graphic we had with data on school-based voluntary probation stuff, but I'm like running around on my computer trying to find it, and I know we're running out of time, so I'll just maybe I could share it after. But yeah, so I just, you know, that's what we're working on to really end the zero tolerance and end the school to jail track in schools, and really create schools and create community schools that are hubs of youth development and not punishment, not repression, not, you know, this kind of stuff where if you're acting out, you need support, that you're going to get criminalized for it, you know, because, you know, you have one teacher in a class of like 40 students. Of course, that teacher can't handle them, but the teacher needs support, but the students need support too, not cops, not police. So we're trying to fight for more support staff. And then at the state level, and I'm sorry I'm going so fast, there's so much that I wanted to share with you all. And I'm just trying to like hit the most important points, and I hope it's kind of making sense. I hope I'm not just throwing stuff out at you. It seems unconnected, but right now at the state level, the governor has proposed closing the Department of Juvenile Justice and all the state youth prisons, which used to be YA, the California Youth Authority. But what he's trying to do is close these prisons. Their budget is about 250, so I think it's $235 million. That money would go straight to local county probation departments to take these youth and spend the money as they see fit, but as long as it's to handle the youth that would be eligible for DJJ. Well, there's an alternative proposal that we're supporting that would still close DJJ, but that money wouldn't go straight to probation. It would be like a grants program where community-based organizations could also apply for this money and do work with these young people instead of probation. So having really investing in community-based alternatives with all this state money that's going to be available. And so the governor, and it would create an Office of Youth Justice at the state level that would provide oversight and accountability of these youth justice funds, and also like accountability and oversight of, you know, how what's happening to these young people at the local level. The governor is really opposed to that alternative proposal. He's really opposed to the oversight body. So we're trying to make calls to him throughout today. Today's really kind of like a crunch day. We're blowing his lineup all day. We have a call script and the number. I'll put it in the chat. If you have time today after this, it would be great if you all could make that call. And then there's also another bill that we're working on that would decertify cops who commit misconduct. Currently in California, California is one of only five states in the entire country where a police officer, if they're punished, they're fired or whatever, can go to another department within the state and get hired. And this happens a lot. And a lot of times they go to the Central Valley, and the Central Valley has a lot of cops who are kicked out of other places, or they quit before their department's internal investigation ends, and then they go to another department. So we're working on a bill that would decertify cops. So if they commit misconduct, they would be decertified, stripped, like a doctor can get stripped of their certification, or a nurse or a teacher can get stripped of their certification, where they can't be a cop no more because they've committed some heinous act or act of misconduct. So that bill is in jeopardy of dying as well too. You would think all these bills would be passing easily with the largest social uprising that any of us have probably ever seen in our country, but it's still a struggle just to get these basic things passed. So there's a number, legislator's office that we need to call, and I will put that in the chat. And if you have time later, it would be great if you could do that. But I always just try to leave people with stuff they can actually do after talking, because it's a lot, and I know people want to get involved. So I don't know how much time I have, but I feel like I'm probably towards the end, so I'll cut it out right now, but I just want to say thank you to everybody. If you have any questions, I'll stay on for a few more minutes, for as long as I can before I have to go to this other meeting, because I'm really interested in what y'all going to talk about. But I'll be here if you have any questions or anything. Just hit me on the chat. I'll put my email in the chat as well. So thank you, appreciate it. Feel like I talked a lot, but I hope you got something out of it. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you so much for that. I think we have time for at least one question. I think we want to make sure that, it's important to get the voices from the participants. So we definitely want to, if you have a question, let us know. We want to hear what you want to know. That's what's most important to us. So just unmute yourself, or you can put it on the chat, whichever way works best for you. That would work. Okay. Well, then I think we're going to then, I want to say thank you again for participating and for just doing the work that you're doing. Is necessary. I want to say, I am now truly sorry that we didn't take you to CCP. You would have been amazing just to be part of it. So just
I know. I'm telling you all, man. Telling y'all.
So I hope that obviously you don't hold a grudge because you're here. So, you're part of the family now. So we're going to be contacting you throughout the next few months so that we can continue to work with you. Thank you. All right. And I think so.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Cinnamon quickly asked, how do you suggest we get involved? And also, people are wondering if you can provide them with your email, if that's possible, or any contact information.
Yeah, I'll put my email on the chat. I'll also put my number because sometimes I miss emails, but I'll see a text. But just don't share it with nobody else. And yeah, and I could talk to you offline about how to get involved. It's a little bit hard right now because of the pandemic, so we're not like having meetings in person or like doing any direct actions. We've had a few direct actions like the car march in downtown LA, the car protest and all that, but there's still other ways to get involved. So just hit me up.
We also placed their website and their Instagram on the chat. Please follow them. They're always posting something. You guys are dope. Every day there's something happening. So much love, peace, and power to you. Solidarity.
All right. I think, let's see, we have our next presenter, and I think Alejandro, no, that was I think we have Javier Rodriguez coming up next.
Javier, he's trying to log on right now. So if we want to take one more question, I think, someone has really an urgent question like that. Why get that?
And just so you know, we do have also Anthony and Laura from Pasadena City College. They're here already as well. So if we want to move them up a little bit up, we can do that too as well.
I had a question for Anthony. I was wondering, with all these police killings going on across the state of California, is the Youth Justice Coalition doing any data analysis on the entire state of California, or are you guys just focused on SoCal and the LA area?
So us ourselves are just focusing on LA County and getting that data. And we've gotten through Public Records Act requests, we've gotten DA reports that actually describe in the internal investigations that describes the incidents. And many times there's videos online of these incidents. And we found a bunch of times where those DA reports actually conflict with what's in the video, but nobody had ever seen these DA reports before outside of the district attorney's office or the police department. But we're really focusing on LA County because we have so much of this data. It would be a lot to do the state, but recently there was another bill that we helped pass a few years ago that requires the State Department of Justice to track police killings in California. And the data is disaggregated by race and gender and stuff like that. You can go, I don't have what the exact website off the top of my head, but if you go on the Department of Justice, I'm sure if you Google California Department of Justice use of force data, you'll find it. And it'll give you the numbers for the last few years of how many people are killed and who's getting killed by police in California.
All right, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your story, bro. It's hella powerful. So
Thank you.
Alejandro?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Javier's gonna get jump in a couple minutes, so I think we should move with the other.
Okay, so let me just make sure that I know I saw Anthony jump in. I don't see him anymore, so let me just double check. Anthony, are you here? Dr. Anthony Francos, I think he also just logged out. Let me just double check. Yeah, I don't see him right now anymore. So, any other questions you have at this moment? So let's take questions and let's kind of think about. Oh, I see Anthony coming in right now. Let me see if he can jump in and talk a little bit about the program that he oversees at Pasadena City College. We wanted to kind of showcase one of the programs at the community college. I don't know how many of you have programs at your community college that are specifically targeting the specific needs of this population. So I want to, if you can put it on the chat too, that would be good, so we can kind of get a sense of that. But also that, so that if there is no program, how can you as a student advocate for a program to be created at your campus as well? So that's basically what we are hoping that we can get out of this part of the conversation. So I'm gonna ask Dr. Francoso, if you're here, if you can just jump in and start talking a little bit about the work that you're doing at Pasadena City College. And thank you for being here. And I see Laura also is here as well. And both of them are overseeing that program at PCC.
Yes. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How y'all doing today? Well, my name is Dr. Anthony Francoso. You can just call me Francoso or Anthony. And I'm faculty in Sociology and Ethnic Studies at Pasadena City College, as well as one of the coordinators for our reentry program called CORE, Community Overcoming Recidivism Through Education. And I wanted to introduce our advocate for equity and justice, Laura Hayes.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us. I am Laura Hayes. I'm one of the advocates for equity and justice for the CORE program at PCC. Really grateful to be here today. And today we're just going to talk to you a little bit about our program, what we've done over the last year that we've been active as a program, and hopefully answer some questions for you. Santi, is there any way for us to share our screen?
Yes, you should be able to share, but let me just make you co-host and to ensure that you're able to, okay? Give me a second, okay?
And Santi, you mentioned we have about 30 minutes, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Okay, so like I said, our program is CORE, which stands for Community Overcoming Recidivism Through Education. This fall, Monday, we'll be starting our second year as a program at PCC. Anthony?
So what CORE does is we provide support and empowerment to formerly incarcerated and system impacted students. A brief definition of system impaction would mean that you had a relative, a family member, a friend, a loved one who has experienced incarceration at some point in their life, because being system impacted or having a loved one who is incarcerated is very traumatic in and of itself. So what our program does is to try to empower reentry students is we're kind of a one-stop shop. We will enroll students into PCC or help with PCC apply or CCC apply. We also help with FAFSA. We help with financial aid, scholarships. We do ed programs. We have our own ed counselor named Rohan Desai, who we send all of our students to help understand what their career goals might be, as well as develop an ed plan to figure out what classes they should be taking their semesters here at PCC. We have connections to academic tutoring. We're developing a student peer mentorship program with our student organization called FIRST, which stands for Formerly Incarcerated Radical Scholars Team. We do transfer preparation. We refer students to community partners to do expungement workshops. We have lots of access to community resources in relationship to mental health care, in relationship to self-care practices. We have direct contact with judges, parole officers, and lawyers. So there's a lot of letter writing and phone calls with these folks to let them know how well our students are doing in the program. We also have assistance with job readiness and job placement. To be eligible for CORE, there are very few eligibilities. Basically, be a student enrolled at PCC, and we keep the unit load low, so a minimum of at least 3 units. And you have to identify as someone who has been impacted or affected by the system of incarceration.
So this is our office right now. We're obviously remote, but we have a small office on campus. We can work 2 at a time. We have 1 desk and 1 chair. So this is where we operate when we're on campus. Right now we have a lot more room because we're all at home. And that's nice, but we usually have about 1 student in the office, and then we have a nice little hallway and waiting area where our students hang out and study. And you'll notice our hours of operation say all the time, because we're available 24 hours a day for our students, with boundaries, of course, but our students can text us, call us, email us anytime when they have questions. And then this is just a snapshot of a year ago. This was our first ever event as a program, just a meet and greet with students. We had about 20 students when we started, and now we're ranging around 75.
So in looking at what we've done the first year of being active on campus, this is kind of a brief snapshot of the elements we've been able to achieve, kind of a highlights. So one of the highlights that we've all kind of thought about in our successes has been organizing a Black and Brown unity event, trying to bring Black and Brown students together on campus. We've developed and helped facilitate campus tours of UCLA, UCSB, Cal State Fullerton, USC. And the important thing that we would like to address with the campus tours is that, as many of you know, there are re-entry program networks throughout all of the educational systems in California. So at the UCs, it's Underground Scholars. At the CSUs, it's Project Rebound. So when we send our students to go visit these campuses, we're in direct contact with these programs so that we can do a warm handoff with the Underground Scholars and or Project Rebound. During this time of COVID, one of the 2 pandemics that's ravaging our society right now, we've organized remote workshops focused on self-care practices, on transferring. We have 5 study sessions per week where students can kind of join us, hang out online. We hold each other accountable as we study. We also do lots of one-on-one support, either through texting, phone calls, or Zooms. We're developing a certificate course in collaboration with CDCR. so that students can get kind of a certificate in welding and or a few other different programs. We provide court support for our students, whether in person and or letter writing, as we mentioned earlier. We will write letters to judges, to parole officers, to prosecuting attorneys, letting them know how well our students are doing and the contributions they're making to the PCC campus. We also do direct court support, where if a student feels like they want someone there for moral support, we will show up for them and be there with them during their court dates. Organize resilience and mutual support speakers virtually. We contact a number of faculty on campus in support of our core students. We just recently partnered with the Freeman Center, which is our center on campus for career development and job placement. So what the Freeman Center does for us is it helps get our students ready for work placement. So if they need help with their curriculum vitas or their resumes, or if they need help with how to do a job interview, we can get all of this done at the Freeman Center, and then the Freeman Center will also help with job placement. Our advocates in equity and justice have presented at multiple conferences, NCHEP, Beyond the Bars, which took place in New York right before the pandemic. This fall, CORE has been working with another empowerment group called Puente, where we developed cohort classes. So now we have a Soc 1 and a Speech 1 class where it will only be CORE and Puente students. So we've designed the curriculum specifically around the empowerment of formerly incarcerated and Latinx communities. We've collaborated with the VRC, which is the Veterans Resource Center, to bring AA meetings to campus for our students. We facilitated multiple campus trainings on best practices for how to serve formerly incarcerated students, distributed food vouchers, book vouchers, other academic necessities. With FIRST, we created a community garden that has its own solar-powered aquaponics system. And we've also developed a network of community-based support for our students. For example, we work with the Shepherd's Door and a number of other organizations that are local. Because what we try to do is we try to be really reflective of what our students are asking. And if we can't provide that specifically for them, then we will refer them to off-campus resources to be able to get those needs met.
So Anthony said that was a brief overview of our
Sorry.
first year. And it really is, because there's so much more. I know this page is just crowded with words, but there's so much more we could say. So moving on, we just wanted to pinpoint a few things in our presentation. Cost of incarceration. To house one adult in California is $85,000 a year. To house one minor in California is almost $250,000 a year. To send one person to Pasadena City College per year is $14,785.
So
rates of recidivism.
Go ahead.
Within 3 years of release, about 2/3 of released prisoners were rearrested. Within 5 years of release, about 3/4 of released prisoners were rearrested. Now, rates of recidivism with education level. With vocational training, recidivism rates are 55%. With an associate's degree, 13.7%. That's the community college level. With a bachelor's degree, with a transfer, 5.6% recidivism rate. And with a master's degree, it goes down to 0. So for every dollar invested in prison education programs, it will save taxpayers between $4 and $5 in incarceration costs.
So we just wanted to share these stats to show how expensive it is to incarcerate both minors and adults. Also wanted to share the stats to show the lack of support that's given to folks due to the high rates of recidivism, but also definitely wanted to highlight the role of support that education plays in reducing recidivism rates, right? So if someone's been incarcerated and they have an associate's degree, their rate of recidivism goes down tremendously. Just like with the master's degree, it goes down to 0%. So just wanted to reemphasize that.
This page is just ways that you can connect with us. So we can share this later too, but this is the end of our presentation. We basically wanted to leave time for questions. We've been a program for 1 year, like I said, and it took a lot of work to get here. Student advocacy, administrators and faculties buying into our cause, and I just wanted to leave time for people both at the community college level who are looking to transfer and folks who are working at other colleges that may be starting a program or have specific questions onto how we do what we do. We have time for that.
So you can go ahead and either unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can put it on the chat. We have time for a few minutes so we can address the questions or two. We will also place the information of CORE in the website that you receive for this webinar, so that you can have that information readily available as well. But in the meantime, I want to say that these two individuals here are amazing. They do all kinds of different work at not only at Pasadena City College, but beyond Pasadena City College. And I attended a meeting early on for CORE, and I was just so impressed in how much work they had done in such little time and with such little, funding and space, and just connecting with all the different resources that are important for this community. It's amazing. So I just wanted to say thank you for all the work that you're doing at Pasadena City College and beyond. You're amazing. Thank you.
Are there any questions before we go?
We have one question. It says from Tawana. She asks, how has it been for your students to have access to the tech for online learning? Do you help with that? And well, that's an amazing and timely question. Yes, thank you.
So PCC is offering Chromebooks to its students during this time of COVID. So our students also have access to the Chromebooks in this way. But just a small example of how we go above and beyond for our students. We have a few students that are in a early release facility who are in lockdown because CDCR is in lockdown. So we're going to pick up the laptops and deliver the laptops to these students along with hotspots, so that the students that are in lockdown have access to our program as well.
And on top of that, we also have a new community engagement program starting with our students who have been in CORE for at least a year, and they'll be supporting a group of newer CORE scholars to learn how to use Canvas and Zoom and all of the technology they need to use. So that'll happen in the first few weeks of school too.
You guys did mention that you guys have direct access to the legal system through judges, probation officers. Could you elaborate more on that?
So in the city of Pasadena, it has its own prosecutor's office. And the prosecuting office primarily deals with misdemeanors. So we've made a deal with the head prosecutor that if the head prosecutor thinks that the student would do well or that this person would do well in school, they get referred to us. We set up an ed plan. And if they can stay at PCC for a year and succeed, then all charges will be dropped for that person. So that's kind of one example of the things that we've done. But
and this is only for students that are currently incarcerated?
This is for students that catch a case in the city of Pasadena, and the prosecuting attorney decides not to prosecute, but will release the students to us. And then if the student does not complete the year of education, then the prosecuting attorney will prosecute and the case will come back. But if the student finishes the year, the case they caught just disappears. And we also have a lot of contact with parole officers and probation officers. So when our students are in our program, we'll reach out to their POs and talk to them like, hey, we have this student, I know they're under your supervision. They're participating in this program and that program and the honors program. They're taking 12 units. They're doing really well. Just so that their PO kind of doesn't harass them as much. Lara, anything?
Yeah, how did you guys begin to establish that bridge of communication with the district attorney's office?
We had multiple meetings with the Pasadena Police Department, and one of the commanders recommended that we reach out to the prosecuting city attorney, and that's kind of how it started. But yeah, I mean, you know, Pasadena Police Department has its definitely, I mean, they just murdered another young Black male on Sunday. So the Pasadena Police Department has a lot of its issues that need to be resolved as well. So we're also trying to work with the community organization to be able to hold PPD accountable.
All right, well, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. We truly appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for just making yourself available. There's a number of PCC students who have joined us or who are interested in this information. So we appreciate it. All right, Alejandro, you
yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, by the way, Anthony and Laura. We appreciate you.
Good to see you again.
Well, thank you. Up next, we have Javier Rodriguez. Javier Rodriguez, Santi, if you could turn the slide. Javier Rodriguez is a double Bruin, a UCLA alumni with a bachelor's in anthropology in 2007 and a master's in social work in 2019. Currently, he is the regional coordinator for the Rising Scholars Network. And also, I know this brother from when I first got to UCLA. He was part of Underground Scholars, one of the founding members, and he always made me feel really welcome, you know, as a Phi-Sci student. So without further ado, you know, I want to present the brother Javier Rodriguez up. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. I appreciate the welcome. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all and share a few words. So to share a little bit of my position, I'm part of the Rising Scholars Network, which is pretty much an initiative from the Chancellor's Office to pretty much expand and support programming for formerly and currently incarcerated students within the state of California's community college system. So with that said, we serve about 15,000 currently incarcerated students. And I really want to emphasize on that. So if anyone has any family members or friends, that can always come out and reach out to us. Look for us, Corrections to College. And from there, you'll be able to get in contact with us and we can help with any questions that you may have. We definitely take a pride in trying to continue to help students and from being currently incarcerated all the way to higher education and have them pursue their dreams. On the sense here, we have currently 3 regional coordinators, Northern California, Central, and Southern, and I'm assigned to the Southern District. So I oversee Ventura County, San Luis Obispo County, all the way down to San Bernardino, LA, Orange County, and I help 28 different colleges. Out of those 28 colleges, they serve 7 prisons and, you know, juvenile facilities, county jails, and we really work together on helping expanding services and programming across this region here in Los Angeles. We also, you know, really take pride in that peer mentorship. So we really work with students from all stages, specifically currently college students in different ways. We provide peer mentorship support, specifically every college. So for example, PCC spoke to you about those specific programs that they have. So, you know, they're one of the best programs we have right now. Other colleges, just things that are similarly, something a little different. They're different stages of development. So just know that you have support in different colleges, just depending on your location and region. You have colleges ranging from, that they do specifically for only currently incarcerated students, like Santiago Canyon College. And it varies. PCC only serves formerly incarcerated students. So it just depends on where the student is at, that they'll get connected with the colleges based on what the college is kind of specializing in at the moment. And some colleges provide both. It just depends on what type of resources and capacity does that college have. And I was just getting a quick summary of what's happening in the state. We do have a bill, AB 2341, which was passed, and we are working on getting a fiscal appropriation. We were going to get some more funding to provide more programming and support. And due to the COVID, we actually were not able to get that fiscal appropriation. But, we will continue to advocate and push for policy changes across the state. So we are in charge of helping with any systemic changes that need to be made for us to better support formerly and currently incarcerated students. So you have any concerns, feel free to share, and I will take them down and, put it on my list of hopefully we can continue to push them forward across the state. Any systemic issues that you would like to bring up to me, feel free to share so I can take on any questions that you may have.
Any questions you have for the brother? Also, we put the bill right in the group chat if you want to check it out or you want to look a little bit more into AB 2341. But yes, please, any questions you have for Javier in terms of, programming on the statewide level, policy, stuff like that.
Well, thank you all. Appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate the time. I really support CCP and the programming that I see. I'm really excited to see that this is happening. I remember as a student, we were trying to make it happen. It was just a lot going on. I had a lot on my plate where I couldn't even push it forward, but I'm glad, Alex, that you took it on and really, wish everyone the best in their journey and continue to push forward, y'all. Stay safe out there and take care.
Thank you so much, Javier. And if if you would be able to share your email on the group chat or any way we can, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, that'd be great if anyone wants to do that. But thank you so much for stopping by and dropping some statewide, regional knowledge on us.
Yeah, I also want to say thank you, and it's important to continue to do this work at all different levels, it's important to have you as the participants be part of that movement as well. So we encourage you to connect with the folks that we have invited. We have some of their information already in the website. We're going to provide you with some information in terms of the organizations that they work with, and we'll put the links to those organizations in the website as well, so you'll have it all in one place. And if you know of any resources as well as a participant, let us know so that we can also share those whatever resources you may have. Again, we're all about making sure that we have a community that is creating all of this work, not just one specific person, right? Okay, so moving right along, I'm going to let's see. I think we have at this point, Paloma and Bobby are going to talk a little bit about the food that they have cooked for lunch for all of us, and that it should have been delivered by now to your place. I think is that correct? Is that what you told me, Bobby and Paloma? I can't remember for sure, but
yeah, I got some food cooking. It's gonna be mailed to everybody's house real quick. Hope y'all like it.
Yeah, so if you check outside your door, it's probably gonna be there. Uber Eats is probably gonna deliver it in just a few minutes. We have a buffet, so you have options to choose from. So
just kidding, don't
next, up next, we are gonna be going into our lunch break. Our lunch break is gonna be from 12 to 2 p.m. However, we encourage you to stay on the Zoom link because we are going to be having optional activities from 12 to 1 p.m. We're going to be having writing rhymes and free minds.
Yep. And then from 1 to 2 p.m. we're going to be having our network hour. So stay by, stay near. You want to get connected.
You're going to be able to network with current students, alumni, UCLA alumni, and even members of Underground Scholars Initiative organization. So Alejandro, if you can
definitely. So
take
please
on.
don't leave us anytime soon. Right now, what we got once again is the writing rhymes and freeing minds section. So if I can get access to share my screen, great. Okay, cool. So today, right now, what's gonna happen, just a brief overview of the writing rhymes and freeing minds workshop. The first one from 12 to 1:40, we're gonna be having basically, from 12 to 12:40, we're gonna be having a poetry and hip hop writing workshop. So if you ever written poetry before, or you ever haven't, or you haven't spit a rap before or anything like that, we're going to teach you today. So it's going to be an interactive workshop. And then the last 20 minutes from 12:40 to 1 p.m. will be an open mic. So if some of you write poetry or want to share a song, maybe you want to show us how to dance, maybe you want to show off, a mean speech, anything you really want to show us, we definitely want to use this opportunity to elevate voices, right? Especially five-side voices and just the voices of the people in this event today. We really appreciate all you joining us today. So, you could join us, you could be here physically, or you could be here, like listening to the workshop, but, or you could, have your lunch, whatever it may be, but it's going to be very, very much fun. So let's get it started. So just a little bit about writing rhymes and freeing minds. Writing rhymes and freeing minds is a poetry workshop that I created about like 5 years ago. I think 6 years ago now. And what it is basically, it's meant to help, community help. It's meant to help basically make poetry accessible and easy to the community and to people, right? Because sometimes we think poetry as something like, oh, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write the hardest poem of all time. I'm about to, be the next Kendrick and, write this super amazing poem, right? And just go all, but the truth, and it has to rhyme, or it has to sound super dope, but the truth is it doesn't, right? It could be very simple, right? Such as a haiku, very short. It could be sweet. It could make sense. It could make sense it could not make sense, right? It could not even make sense to you, right? It basically has no limits. You can't put it in a box or in something like that, right? And that's the power of it. So, I want to talk about poetry specifically because poetry and hip hop, right, saved my life, right? So a little bit about me was that when I was 13, I lost my father in a terrible car crash. He burned alive in a Volkswagen buggy, and I witnessed it, right? So some very traumatic experience at that, watching my father pass away, literally burned alive, right? And stuff like that. And that's really, I know that was really hard to hear, right? But from that, right after losing him, we basically lost our 2 houses. We had 2 houses, and then what followed was the cars that we had, right? My pops was a construction worker, he worked in the ranch in Santa Anita racetrack. So he was a stableman, like average Latino, or immigrant job and stuff like that. But he worked hard for what he did. But when he passed away, he was the main breadwinner. So kind of everything went down. And to top it off, that was back in 2008, which was when the recession hit. So, causing our whole family's, economic background to really shake. And that was the time that I really started to write poetry, right? Because I didn't have access to counselors, to therapists, or to any mental health services, right, to cope with many of the things that was happening in my life at that time. Instead, I was basically met with instead of care, policing. So I started acting up, and I started getting in trouble. But instead of, no one ever stopped and asked me what's happening to me, right? Or why are you acting up? Or what's wrong? Like, why are you so mad? Or, you know, doing all these crazy things. They never stop by and ask me though. And no one really ever listened to, right? So I found comfort in something like poetry, because what it was is I call my notebook, my poetry notebook, my ghetto therapist, right? Because, you know, it listens to me, I speak to it, it speaks to me. And poetry was basically a healing, something that allowed me to heal myself, right? And it boosted my self-esteem, especially when I would write. And I would have these beautiful conversations, right, while writing poetry, and stuff like that. So, you know, throughout my life, throughout my teenage life, right, all the way to today, I still write poetry. I now perform poetry. I think there's also a difference in that, right? So, you know, it's really amazing to be able to continue this and now share this, right? So, I'm gonna share a quick poem with y'all. Is that okay with y'all? Is that okay with everyone? Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a thumbs down? Can I get a clapping hands? Right, I'm gonna ask for a lot of participation. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yes. All right. Dope. Okay. So here it goes. So, man, they said I wouldn't make it to UCLA. I started it in LA, but I quickly earned the UC. UC, flip it, reverse it, tip it. The UC earned me. But this wasn't how it was supposed to be. I was supposed to have died, incarcerated, or get high, putting up in a drive-by, but continuation high school got me by, but still didn't prepare me to succeed. They tried to bury me, but they didn't know I was a seed. Now look at me. I have a garden. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't that right, Marvin? But now I'm starving, or more like striking. UCLA Chicano studies got me fighting. They hella frightened, or more like scared. A man of color right here is rare. This life ain't fair. They ask me why? Because I'm a broke brewing, pursuing, who's doing schooling and music while cruising, while eating pan dulce and making bomb music. They say it can't be done until it's done. Welcome, Fireside Webinar. Your time has begun. Cool. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. You know, you can do snaps. You know, that's like the typical like poetry stuff, snaps. But I think it's a little cheesy, right? I during like my open mic sessions, when I'm hosting them, I do different things. So, you know, I'll get into that a little bit later. But right now, what we're about to get into is I'm gonna ask all of y'all to please open up, you know, like your notes on your phone, or if you have a piece of paper with you, or a pen, or whatever it may be, right? Whatever you need to do to take, you know, to write something down really fast, right? Just if you could help me in that, right? You could also use a Google Docs form like I'm doing today. And it's very easy. So what I'm gonna ask all of you today to do is to describe your journey in a couple words, right? All of you, right? Your journey in terms of education, maybe in terms of life, maybe your journey on the way to work, on the way to get food, you know, whatever it may be, right? But journey, that's what we're working on right now, your pathway and your trajectory, right? So, you know, if I could please have some participation in terms of the group chat, maybe if you're shy to speak up, you know, and stuff like that, if y'all could please type in the group chat, or you could say it out loud, right? Whatever you want to say, right? Describing your journey. Okay, we have any words to describe. All right, I'm gonna put damn, okay? And for those hip hop people, y'all know what that reference is from? Can anyone tell me? That's the first one, right? Damn. Any words, anybody? Words that describe your journey. Persistence, most definitely. Persistence. Persistence, resilience. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. What's some other words? You could use the mic too as well. Destiny. Yes. Destiny. What else? Give me 6 more. 2 more. I'll make it easy on you. 2 more.
Long. Oh, somebody already did that. Shoot.
Okay. Now, what I'm gonna ask y'all to do is to give me at least minimum 4 words, right? 4 words that describe your journey, but making it funny, right? 4 funny words that would describe your journey, right? So I'm gonna put, for example, chancla. Y'all know what a chancla is? For all my Latino people, my Chicano people, that is a sandal, right? This right here, you see this? This is deadly. This will hurt somebody really bad. A sandal, right? The chancla. The chancla is basically, you know, what we were raised with. That's how our mama, if we acted wrong, right? If we did something bad, she would bust out the chancla. So the chancla, that's how I would describe that. Oh, I have a new one. Never ending. Got you, Alma. So give me, you know, 2 or 3, right? Words that are funny that would describe your journey. And it could be multiple words too. It could be like los frijoles. Right? Crossing the border. Cooking noodles. Oh yeah.
It's transformation.
Definitely. Ooh, right there. Sopa de vaso. Tortilla. Yeah. These are beautiful, y'all. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask. So we have, you know, words that describe your journey just in general, some funny words. Now, what we're gonna try to do is rhyme with some of these words, right? So what rhymes with persistence? You know, this is like a bonus part, right? We don't have to rhyme, but I'm just showing y'all real fast. What rhymes with persistence? Anybody? Resistance, exactly. Beautiful. Okay, now, magnificent. That's beautiful, yeah. Okay, magnificent. Okay, now what rhymes with struggle? What rhymes with struggle? I know this gets a little bit harder, right? I know, but all of you, cuddle, snuggle. Yes, yes. Exactly.
Bundle.
So my friend, when we were at the Black Lives Matter protest, she took her dog, Chuco, and Chuco had a little sign. It said Black Lives Matter, and it's her dog had a little sign that was like a little Shih Tzu, and it said, Chuco is down for the struggle and down for a snuggle. Yeah, Chuco is down. So exactly, struggle, cuddle, snuggle, most definitely. Okay, good. All right. Now let's think what rhymes with tiring. Tiring. Now, I'm gonna show y'all a trick really fast. Firing, exactly. So if I could show y'all something, is that rhyming, right? These are called end rhymes, right? So ants, right? Persist, ants, resist, dance, right? When it has the similar ending, right? That end rhyme, like that last part of the word, right? For example, tiring, firing, right? If you could find something that has an ing, it could probably fit in there, right? So tiring, firing, right? Struggle, see? Uggle, L-E, right? So that's kind of a way that sometimes, people that rhyme, right, try to see it, right? Like it makes it really easy when you're trying to find something to rhyme, right? You kind of use the end rhyme, right? The end part of the word. That sometimes helps you. So, okay, firing. Anything else? Tiring, firing. Okay. Now let's think of tortilla. What rhymes with tortilla? Anyway, tortilla. It could be in any tia. Exactly. Sophia. Yeah.
Semilla.
What was that?
Semilla.
Semilla. Exactly. Sandia. Yeah. Okay, y'all going. Sangria. Damn. Okay, y'all poets now. Y'all rappers. Y'all doing great. This is y'all on a roll. Okay, sangria. When I think of tortilla, I was gonna say pesadilla. Pesa. I'm Chicano and Pocho, so my Spanish writing, when I write it, takes me a little. So pesa. Anybody can relate? Anybody? Pesa. I think that's what it's called. Pastilla. Okay. All right. Pastilla. I see that. Okay. Cool. All right. So with that, can someone help me count how many words we have? We have about like 25, right? Something around there? Okay. So what I'm showing you today is a real easy and basic writing prompt or writing exercise, right? When you're writing poetry. Maybe some of you have never wrote poetry, right? Or ever, written creatively or something like that, right? Have had the opportunity to do so. And this is an exercise that we use. Basically, you put a word up each day and you write about that word. And it could be anything that comes to your mind when you think of that word, right? So for example, if someone wants to write about the chancla, right? I'm gonna write about the chancla, right? I would sit down and that would be my word. I would write it up on a whiteboard or something. And I would just start writing about the chancla. If I could write anything about it, I could write about how it feels, about how it felt, right? Getting hit by one, the color of it, the texture of it, the brand of it, right? All that. This chancla is hard, blue like my hat, and then you just go on about anything, right? And it doesn't need to make sense at all, but it's basically working the engines of writing, right? Of you just exploring your thoughts, making connections to your past memories, right? To your experiences, linking this up, right? You could tell a story with it. You could do whatever you want with the chancla, right? With just using one word. All you need is one word to help you guide your poem or your writing. But what we have today is 25 words. So what I'm going to ask y'all to do is to, in your notes, right, now that you have your notes up and everything like that, is to use minimum, I'm saying minimum, 3 words here in 3 sentences, right? Or what we call bars, right? Bars are basically lines. So on your phone, you're typing, right? You have like a line, second line, right? A line and stuff like that. So I'm going to ask y'all to minimum use 3 words and 3 lines, right? Write 3 lines on wherever you're writing, incorporating 3 of these words. Does that make sense? And it doesn't need to make sense to anyone. I just want you to write anything. Like, it could be the most dumbest thing in this world, right? You may think it may be dumb, right? But I want y'all to write about something using some of these words, I also, strategically, we gave you some rhyming words. So if you want to incorporate that, right? My persistence, resistance, magnificent, right? Anything like that. We have some words already up for you. All you need to do is just move them around and plug them in the right spot. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes, a little bit less, probably like 3 minutes or a minute or 2 to write 3 lines using 3 of these words. Sounds good? Okay. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put some music, right? Because awkward silence is not the way. If y'all see my Spotify playlist, I love FKJ. FKJ stands for French Kiwi Juice. Yes, French Kiwi Juice. But he is an amazing musician, right? If y'all heard of Tadao, that's probably his most known song out there, right? With Masego. That's the other artist's name. But I'm gonna give you a minute or two, okay? So go ahead. Write, and then we're gonna meet back, okay? Go ahead and write. There we go. All right, let's see what we got. So, let me pop up. All right, so I'm gonna ask for one brave volunteer to share. I know it could be sometimes difficult, right, to share in front of a whole group of people you don't know, right, strangers and all that. But I want to challenge you, right, because this is a brave and safe space, right? We established that with our community agreements. So, and also, this is online. No one really knows how you look, right? Other than your picture that you have, right, as your Zoom picture, right? So use that advantage, right? In terms of maybe you're not that social or wouldn't share in person, but virtually, right? We really don't know. So I'm gonna ask one person, if they could share what they wrote. Have one volunteer. Come on, y'all. I'm gonna pick someone. Yeah, I'm gonna pick someone. Okay? I picked Fejan. MC Fejan.
Seriously?
He said seriously? Yes, seriously.
Honestly, I'm not ready yet. Let me think about it, okay?
Okay. I'm gonna let you think about it, okay? I'm gonna pick on someone else. I'm gonna pick on MC Bobby. MC Bobby, to the mic.
What's good? What we doing?
Have you been able to write anything?
Anything to write?
3 lines, bro. 3 lines using at least 3 of these words.
Let me see. Wait. I have so much persistence.
Okay.
People call me magnificent.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me get one more.
So much persistence. What did you say? I have so much persistence.
People call me magnificent.
Magnificent. Mhm. It could be challenging sometimes. I know that when you're writing, sometimes you may what we call writer's block, right? You may get stuck, right? When you get stuck, you are the controller of your own destiny, of your own poem, right? Just like how you write your own poem, you create your own destiny. So you could basically switch it up. It doesn't have to rhyme right there, right? You could cut it right there, magnificent, right? I have so much persistence. People call me magnificent. Then you can completely jump somewhere else and say, let me tell you
Oh my dear, no.
It was like, wait, what happened there? It's okay. It's okay. Because there is no book. It's your poem, it's I just added that part, right? But then you saw how like, bam, now you start fresh new start. And then you go on there until you hit a dead end and then you start another one, right? So it's like multiple spots. Dope. We have someone that shared. Eric, thank you so much for sharing. Would you be, I want to, hopefully respect that, right? But would it be possible if you could share it, with us, verbally? I want to make
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
I was just about to step away from the computer. So yeah, you caught me. But yeah, I just did a short little 3-line. Throughout life, I've lived off many cup of noodles because struggle corrupt my noodle, but persistence was how I handled resistance.
Hey, okay. So let me. So everyone that's here right now, right? I'm gonna show y'all something. Remember how we were talking about snaps, like poetry snaps? Like when you probably seen it like on TV or something, when people do poetry, they snap. I don't like that stuff, man. To me, it's like, it's cringy, it's like, it's played out, right? We have the power to make our own sound, our own acknowledgments. So what I like to do, right, is basically, use anything, right? So if anyone has seen the movie Friday, right, there's some guy named Smokey, right? And Smokey, there's a part in the scene where Smokey and Ice Cube, right, they go, damn, right? How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? Right? If you don't, that's how it goes. It goes, damn, right? So instead of snapping when someone does their poem, we're gonna basically do the Smokey, right? What I call the Smokey. So we're gonna go, damn, all right? Now, Eric, I'm gonna ask you to do something real quick, bro.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen when you say this poem? I want you, when you say your word, right? Because we used cup of noodle, right? Cup of noodle was your word, right? That you took from here, right? When you say cup of noodle, I need you to change the pitch and tone of it. So for example, for your whole poem, maybe you were saying at the same, right? Same tone, right? You didn't manipulate the sound of your wording, right? How loud it was. I want you to manipulate it. You could do that by sounding louder, by saying it funky, right? You could do it by however you want, right? But basically, when you use the word that we used from the list, say it differently from how you were saying your poem. So couple noodle would sound different. Corrupt noodle would sound different, and then persistence and resistance would sound different. Does that make sense? Maybe you pick up your voice louder, right? Like, hey, man, and stuff like that. Does it sound good?
Yeah. I mean, I'll try it. I'm not an MC, but we are going to.
Oh, no. You are today, man. You're becoming the next MC, bro. Right here, right now. Right here, the next Kendrick Lamar. All of y'all. So don't even trip, bro. This is safe and brave space, like we were talking about earlier. So, and when he's done with his poem, I want everyone that's on to turn on your mic and to do the Smokey with me. Can y'all do that with me? Yeah. Can y'all say damn when he finishes his poem? I'll take that as a yes. Eric, take us in.
Throughout life, I've lived off many cup of noodles because struggle corrupt my noodle, but persistence was how I handled resistance.
Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Damn.
Damn.
Hey, bro, that was beautiful. That was a perfect example. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate
That was dope.
That was powerful. Now, I'm going to demonstrate what just happened right now, right? What Eric did was, all he did was change his pitch and tone in certain words, right? Specifically, it was the end rhyme, the end of the rhyme, right? Which gave it a little bit of flavor, a little bit of sauce, right? A little bit of tapatio, right? A little bit of sriracha on the poem, right? Because he changed his pitch and tone. That's a skill that's been used in poetry and hip hop, right? For years now, right? You manipulate how you say a word or how loud you say it or whatever it may be, which gives it that little bit extra kick, right? So when what we're doing now is we're performing, right? Basically, we're performing, right? How to perform a poem, right? One thing is to write a poem, right? Like many of you did today, but maybe you didn't share it, and I respect that. But to perform it, right? It's, changing the pitch, changing the tone, and all that type of stuff. Great, thank you. Fejan, I see you, bro.
Yeah, I am finished.
All right, man. Read it for us. Tell us how it is.
Okay.
And we're gonna do the smoky, all right? Everybody, be ready.
Let me take a breath. Border on the crossing. Struggle seems never ending. Resilience is fiery.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Damn.
Hey, that was tight, fish.
Thank you.
All right. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch it up. All right. We did the smoky, an acknowledgement, right? Because the smoky is basically another way to snap, right? Which is acknowledgement, right? You're saying, damn, that was dope, or that was fire, or I felt that line or that poem or whatever it may be, right? That's what snaps indicate, or the damn indicates, right? Now we're gonna switch it up. What else can we say instead of damn or snapping our fingers? We could use like pop culture, right? Something that's popular right now, right? Like what's something that's in that everyone's saying, right? Maybe it's online. I had a student, right? Because I did this workshop a while back ago, a couple weeks ago. They said, period, right? Period.
My boy Tyus got one, bro.
Let's do it. So when Chelly, because I have Chelly on, and then I have our homie right here, Tyus, also gonna share one. So when Chelly does her, when she's finished, I'm gonna say, and that's on what? And all of y'all gonna say, reply, that's on period. Okay? Does everybody understand? Okay? So when Chelly finishes a poem, I'm gonna say, and that's on what? And all of y'all gonna say,
that's on period.
Period.
Do it again. And that's on what?
Do we say that's on, or we just say the word period?
Oh, just say period.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's on what?
Period.
My bad. You do say that's on period. I'm sorry. That's on period. Sorry. Y'all ready?
One more. Yeah, one more.
Go ahead. Take this on.
Ready?
We're ready.
Right. So I didn't follow the 3-line instruction.
You don't have to. It's just a model, just to help people, stuff like that. But go ahead.
All right. I strive to support, try not to conform. We gotta reform. I see your persistence, respect your resistance. I stand in your struggle. Tu lucha, mi lucha. Together we're trucha.
Okay, and that's on what?
That's on what?
That's on period.
Period.
That was fire.
That was fire as fuck, though.
That's right. That's Chelly Chell. MC Chelly Chell. What's up?
MC Chelly Chell.
Damn.
That was fire.
That really was.
Now we got to top that. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Chelly. That was dope. That was dope. All right. Next, we got Tyus.
Dang, that's crazy. All right, I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a go. All right. My journey's been a struggle. I just did the laundry and I forgot to snuggle. Life is tiring, but is anybody job hiring?
Yeah, that was fire, bro.
That's on what?
That's on
Period.
period.
That's on period.
Man, we got MCs, man, everywhere.
That's clever. That's clever with
But now ain't no one hiring though.
Beautiful, man. That was powerful stuff right there. Dope, dope, dope. All right.
That was dope, Tyus.
I'm gonna take it a step higher, okay? I'm gonna take it one more step, okay? So I'm gonna ask y'all to basically write three more lines, right? But in these 3 lines, you're gonna in these 3 lines, you're gonna basically use at least 2 of these words or 3 of these words in one line. Does that make sense? So an example of this would be like, my additional 3 lines would be like, all right, as I was running from the chancla, it got tiring. I was firing. My feet were firing, right? Or something like that. So try to use 3 words, right, in one line or in 2 lines. Does that make sense? So you're basically increasing the amount of words you're using in one of these lines. All right. So go ahead. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. Sale? So go ahead and write a little bit more to your poem. So all those that did have that poem, that spit that poem, now keep going. Expand it. Challenge yourself to be like, all right, damn, now what can I add to this? You know, like I have this dope 3 bars. Now I gotta add a little bit more. You know, I just gotta, you know, throw a little bit of 3 more bars on top. So add 3 more bars, okay? We'll come back at 12:35. Let's get it. I'm gonna play some music for y'all. Let's see. Play some FKJ, some Tab.
I saw her and she hit me like that. Saw that thing so beautiful. She just hit my heart off. Full force and she got me like I be like, baby, why you so fine? Gotta make you mine. So hard to find. Baby, like, oh, how'd you do the thing? The way that you do it, and she didn't even show nothing. She be walking around so confident, so heaven sent. I think she was meant to knock the day like, girl, you so fine. Girl, you rockin' like she was so sublime, super fine. She was never lying, strutting in the heels or her slides. Either way, eyes on her every single day. Everyone wondering how she does it with no fear, all that confidence. Was it heaven sent? Does it come within? Does it come from
Start wrapping it up.
I don't know. She'll just have them
Your 3 bars.
Man, they want to
Francisco, can you put the words back up?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can you put the words back up? You're on a
What was
share
that?
screen. I can't even see the list of words.
I can't hear. I'm sorry, my thing was on mute. What was that?
Oh, I said, could you put the list of words back up?
You're right. How did I do that to y'all? Damn, I'm so sorry. You're right. I didn't even.
I remembered some of them, but I forgot the
yeah.
whole list.
Wow, I'm so sorry, y'all. I was like, yeah, use those words. Let me take off the list real fast. I'm so sorry. Yeah. How's that? Go ahead, y'all. Let me put this on. I'm gonna give y'all additional moments. Additional. And if you want, you could write more than 3, by the way. I always say minimum, right? Minimum three more lines, right? But go ahead and write a little bit more. I'm gonna give you till 12:38, okay? I'm gonna play the song.
How you doing? Thank you. Baby, you got me. I always say.
Okay. Bring it back. Bring it back. Okay. Where are we at? All right. So I'm gonna ask someone that hasn't shared to share really fast. Someone to take that brave step, right? To basically move forward, right? To remove that wall that's stopping you from sharing your amazing, incredible poem that's been stuck right here in your throat or in your hand, wherever it's at. Can I have one volunteer? One brave volunteer. Come on, y'all. I see so many faces in here. I see so many faces right here. I see Albert, I see Alice, I see Leslie. I see Brenda, Milagro. Share that poem with us. Or anything. If you have another poem, drop it. Put it in there. I'm gonna pick somebody. I usually don't like doing that. Sorry about that.
I can go if nobody ready. I'll go for a second time.
Go ahead. Why
are you picking somebody? And they can finish that last line.
Take us in.
I stepped in the house and the tortilla from my tia were magnificent. The line was long. Before a taste, I show resilience. It was a struggle, but afterwards, I was so full, I need to snuggle.
Everybody, y'all ready? And that's on what?
That's on period.
Period.
Here.
That was dope.
Fire bars.
Coming with the fire, bro. MC right here.
Nice.
MC with the fire bars.
Anybody else? Got it. One more. I'm gonna ask for one more person, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. We're gonna take a little 15-minute break, a 10-minute break. One more person.
I can share if no one else, but I want to give the opportunity for other folks.
Shelly is asking us for someone else. Please, we're both, Shelly and I are both asking y'all. Someone that hasn't done yet, hasn't jumped in yet. You know what? I'm gonna give y'all the opportunity. You don't have to say it. You could just put it in the chat. I'm gonna give y'all that one, okay? And we can have someone just put their whatever they wrote on the chat right there. You don't have to say it. I won't let you know. I won't force y'all to do that. Come on, y'all. I know it's taking a little time. It's good. It's good. Creative juices flowing.
You're typing it out.
Yeah. Testing it out. I know it's tough. Go ahead, Shelly, if you can. Just share with us that powerful poem that you wrote.
All right. End chancla cultures. Police acting like vultures. Los frijoles getting burned. The tortillas you gotta turn. Turn the system, turn your mind. Gotta believe success is mine.
Y'all ready? We're gonna do the damn, because I love that. I love the smoothie. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3.
Damn.
Well, no, Shelly, I never knew you were spinning like this.
What, man? Yes. I used to do spoken word at our talent shows back in the day.
That's crazy.
You're bringing me back. Thank you.
We could really hear it too. Y'all should be real powerful.
Yeah, it is. All right, right now, what I'm gonna do, just give me a sec, y'all. I'm gonna hop on from my phone, just give me 1 second real quick, and we're gonna do another activity, all right? What's gonna happen right now is I'm gonna point to one of these words, and y'all are gonna tell me the first word that comes to your mind when you think of that word, okay? So, the first word I'm gonna pick is tia. And when I say tia, that means auntie or aunt in Spanish, okay? Y'all got it? So, y'all ready? So I'm gonna.
You got a rhyme or just the first word?
The first word that comes to your mind when that word pops in your head, tia. It could be anything, whatever pops into your head when you think of tia. Okay, y'all ready? Okay. I'm gonna pick somebody. Okay, the people that have been active. So. Okay, I pick. Yes, I pick Bobby.
That's good. You want me to spit a hot fire poem?
Give me a second.
Chia, like the sea, chia.
Okay.
Or like see ya. Kind of like see ya.
Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all the word, okay? Because I'm switching from my laptop to my phone. The next word is destiny. What's the first word that comes to your mind when you think of destiny? I pick Feijão.
It's going to be struggling.
Okay, struggle. All right.
I got like 3 words.
Go ahead. Go. Do it right now.
Best of me.
Best of me. Okay. Destiny. Best of me. Okay, you rhymed, bro. That wasn't even required. This man right here, overachiever. Okay. Dope. Somebody else. I'm gonna ask Eric. destiny. The first word that comes to your mind when you think of destiny. All right, I'm gonna ask. Who else was with us? Chelly.
Sorry, profe, I was turning my tortillas over here.
The first word that comes to your head when you think of destiny. Destiny.
Meant for me.
Don't think about it. It just comes right out. Destiny.
Meant for me.
Meant for me. Bam. Okay, good. All right, the next word is tortilla, okay? Tortilla is food, okay? So, maybe may not use tortilla in your vocabulary, but think of food, okay? So you ready? All right, tortilla, Bobby. What's the first word?
Tortilla.
Don't even think about it, bro. Just shoot it out there. Go. Tortilla. Pressure.
Damn.
You got it. Tortilla. What do you think when the word tortilla pops into your head?
Mia.
There we go. Perfect. All right. Eric, if you're still with us, tortilla.
Delicious.
Perfect. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to give me 2 words. Nah, you know what? Y'all are advanced poets. Y'all are internationally known throughout the world with a microphone, okay? I'm going to ask y'all to give me a sentence with the word that I'm telling you on the spot, okay? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ready? We're going to use the word resistance because, this is underground scholars right here. We got 5 Psi students in the house. That's resistance right there. So I'm going to ask y'all to give me a sentence when I choose your name, okay? So ready, set, go. Bobby.
Resistance is the catalyst upon my existence. I don't know. Shit.
Bam, there it is. Thank you. All right. I want to ask for someone that hasn't been active. Alma, I don't know if you're Alma, if you're there. Terry, if you're there. I need y'all to give me a sentence using the word resistance. Just one sentence. Like ASAP. Bam. Just drop it in there. Hit me with it. While you think about it, right? The goal is not to think about it. I'm going to pick on Chelly. MC Chelly. MC Chelly Chell.
Resistance is the truth. I don't know, I'm stumbling. When I think of resistance, the word counter narratives come to mind.
Bam. There it is. That was your sentence. When I think of resistance, counter narratives comes to my mind. That's it. That was good. That was it. Okay. Good. That was fire. All right. Now the word is cup of noodles. All right. But now I'm gonna need y'all to give me 2 sentences using cup of noodles. So stretch it out a little bit. You could tell me of a place you ate cup of noodles. What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What flavor is it? It could be anything. Just describe to me the feeling, whatever you want to do. But give me at least like a 5-second sentence, so like 2 lines about cup of noodles. Okay, ready? I'm gonna pick y'all. Ready? Set. And Eric, hit me.
I've been eating cup of noodles my whole life. And actually, I got a cup of noodles going on the stove right now.
Bam. That's it. On the
That's
spot.
real life, too.
That's real. And that's on what? And that's on what?
That's on period.
Thank you, Tay. All right. Fejan. Give me one, bro. Cup of noodles. 2 sentences. Stretch it out, bro. On the spot. First thing that comes to your mind. Go.
Cup noodles are boiling in the microwave.
Okay, there we go. One more sentence. So cup of noodles are boiling on the microwave. Bam, you gave me something. Add it. One more sentence. What happens if they're in the microwave
You
too
have
long?
to use the list of words.
Oh no. You just literally, that's it. You just needed to use cup of noodle, but you needed to think of something on the spot. Which you did. So cup of noodles is in the microwave. What else? Give me something else. The topic is cup of noodles.
Oh, okay. I thought of something. The flower is becoming the best. It's becoming their best of me.
There we go. Perfect, bro. Thank you. All right. So I know many of y'all are confused as hell. Like, what the hell does that even have to do with poetry or hip hop or anything, right? In that matter, cup of noodles. How does cup of noodles relate to anything? So what y'all all just did right now was that all of you just freestyle rapped, right? Y'all participated in the act of spitting, right? What we call spitting. Spitting a flow, right? Spitting a flow because I gotta go. Like the baby. Y'all already know. I'm rapping, I'm trapping. Obviously, I'm smacking with rhymes. Got them on my heart, in my mind, all of the time. Close the blinds. I lost my mind. I can't believe I can't find my dime. But right now, the time is 12:52. Let me tell you how I do this, because I'm a fool. Right. So what is that? What was that? That's called freestyling. That's called literally spitting, right? The act of spitting. Because when you spit, right, you don't think about your spit, right? You don't go, you don't go, oh no, my spit, and you pick it up and you like comfort it, right? No, it's just a spit. You just spit it out instantly, no thought, no emotion, no nothing tied to it. And essentially that's what freestyling is. It's the act of just spitting anything that comes out of your mind. The first thing that comes to your mind. That's how that happens. What we just did right now is an exercise to start freestyling, right? You start with just one word, right? You think of a word, right? I looked right now around my room and I said the blinds, right? Blinds, rhymes, right? So you start with one word and then you move on to the other one and to the other one and to the other one, right? Whatever is around you, you use it as something to help you move into your next rhyme, right? And stuff like that. Or your next line, rhyme or line, because it doesn't have to rhyme, right? So all you just did right now was practice freestyle. Real simple, real easy. You were put on the spot, you were under pressure, and that's what it is. That's what it feels like. But it makes you a better poet and artist and MC, right? When you could freestyle. So all of you are freestyles. Everybody give yourselves a round of applause. To the people that didn't participate but were maybe listening, give themselves a round of applause too, because all of you were amazing. You all have now graduated from Hip Hop Poetry University. You know, I award you your honorary doctorate in flowetry, flowing and poetry, right? So thank you very much, everyone. I'm gonna head out for these last 5 minutes, right? But we're gonna come back for our networking hour, which is not an hour. It's from 12. It's from 1 to 1:45, and it's basically you're gonna meet current UCLA students, and stuff like that. So if you want to meet current UCLA students, like just chop it up with us, talk to us about transfer, about underground scholars, about really connect with us and stuff like that. Join us back in about 10 minutes. We'll say 10 minutes, okay? Sounds good? All right, y'all. See y'all at 1:05 for our FISI networking hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully y'all enjoyed the workshop.
Thank you, Professor Juarez.
Thank you, bro. Go ahead and take a break, use the restroom, get some air, go outside, and we'll come back. Thank you.
Coming back at 1, right?
Hey everyone, we're going to be starting the networking aspect of the optional activities in like 10 to 15 minutes.
Well, if you're joining us for the networking hour, we'll get started shortly. We took a little 10-minute break. You know, we're gonna come back at 1:06. 1:06. Thank you.
Hanjo, did you get that?
What's up, brother?
I sent you that DM, bro.
1 second. I didn't. Was it about the link? The link is a little weird.
No, I was just telling you that Tyus is in university and my boy Will Taylor is a graduate, so I just wanted to keep you posted.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Do you have the questions already?
Yeah, I already sent them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And they were here with us too.
Yeah, they're here right here.
Yeah, they've been here. Us. For sure. What's up, everyone? Everyone jumping back on. We're about to start our networking hour. Our networking hour of power. That's what we're calling it, y'all. So we appreciate y'all that are back with us. What's gonna happen right now is we're about to set people into break rooms. Just give me 1 second. Paloma, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Do you have host capabilities?
I can give you whoever needs host capabilities. Just let me know who.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me get those capabilities, Santi. Just give me 1 sec. I'm logging in from my computer first.
How much money you have?
No. Say
drop the Venmo.
We gotta do the hustle. You know that, right?
Hey, you're right, man. You're right.
Give me a second. All right.
Hard times, bro.
This guy always trying to make a buck.
Oh, hold on. No. Where did Alejandro go? Oh shoot. Okay, here he is.
Hold up.
Where's he at? Oh, there you are. Okay,
Yo, Will, Tyus is up in here too, bro.
Tyus!
What's up?
How are you? Oh, Will.
Yeah,
What's
how
going
you
on?
doing?
Oh, no. It's good to see you. Will.
Likewise.
Good to see you.
Pleasure.
Make host. Okay, make host. Yes. All right. You got it? Alejandro.
You're muted.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, can you make me a co-host?
I got it. Cool.
Okay, make me co-host.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
All right.
All right. Question, y'all. If you are here for let me make something co-host real fast. Santi.
Oh, I'm gonna step out. So.
All right. So thank you, Santi.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're here for the ¿cómo se llama? To be a mentor. To be a mentor or like the 4-year university student, right? Can you please put your name in the group chat really fast? Just type your name in the group chat. If you're a 4-year university student, right? If kind of like the facilitator. If y'all could do me that favor. If you're present, just drop your name or alumni. Yes. Will. Okay. Wes. Bob. Okay. Cool.
Wait, what are we doing? Alumni what?
Yeah, so what's happening right now is that we're gonna separate y'all into groups, into individual, into like basically breakout rooms, and you're gonna be paired up with like a UCLA student or a 4-year university student or alumni. Does that make sense? So you're gonna be able to connect.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm an alumni, but I'm on a second Zoom. I was trying to be involved in both, but I could not do the workshop because I got to speak at this other Zoom right now.
Yeah, that's okay. I could put you in a group. I could put you in a group just so, you know, whenever you're free to whenever you're free to like jump in and like share in conversation, but you won't be the main facilitator if that's okay. We'll have like you'll be like basically like a like the co-facilitator. But we know that, like you mentioned, right now you're in another call, so I want to make sure I respect that. So, all right. So I'm gonna make those breakout rooms. I just want to make sure we have everyone here. Okay, we got. If you're a transfer student, can you put it on the group chat? If you're like by that I mean like a current community college student, like you're in CC right now, or you're maybe not at school right now, right? Stuff like that. So I know Alma, you're gonna be transferring next spring. That's great. Anyone else? Do we have anyone else with us right now? Edgar, okay. What's up, Edgar? What's up, Laura? Awesome, awesome. So we got about five right now transfers in here in the house. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna make smaller rooms. How about that? Give me a sec. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Maybe, hey Alejandro, maybe we can have multiple, you know what I'm saying? Like we could have multiple.
So there's going to be 3 main breakout rooms, and what's going to happen is just I just want to make sure UC students.
I think you're cutting off, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't able to hear that.
No, I'm saying I think you're cutting off.
Oh, I said that there's going to be 3 groups. 3 groups, just because we have a small group right now. So I'm going to make those I'm going to drop the group questions in there, okay? Just give me 1 second.